Hey folks, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, Bitcoin is starting to cool down. Today, it actually pumped to a new all-time high of $125,800. So it looked like it was about to hit 126, but it's cooling down right now. So as I've been stating since in yesterday's podcast, that the RSI in the daily chart is in the overbought zone and to expect a pullback. Not that I want that to happen. It's what the data is telling us, because you had some trolls in the comment section in yesterday's episode and they're like, oh, you see, you always call for pullbacks and it never happens. Well, look at what's happening with Bitcoin right now. There's actually a red candle forming on the daily chart. And if you look at the MACD, the solid green lines, which indicate the bulls are in control, are starting to get lighter. So they're losing momentum here. Now, this could reverse course, right? Because we could see Bitcoin still get a bit more overheated before a pullback, but a pullback right now would be very healthy, preparing us for the next leg up, which I think is not far away. And what we could see with this respective pullback, if it does continue, is that the rotation of liquidity will start hitting the altcoins. So we'll start watching the altcoin market, the total three, and how that's going to move in the coming days. So again, normal, healthy pullbacks, nothing goes up in a straight line. Always follow the data and the charts. If we look at the weekly, things are flipping bullish. So the people who are worried about bearish divergence and all kinds of stuff, that has been invalidated. You have the MACD flipping to green with bulls taking control here. So patience is the key. We are still on track. We're still in a bull market. And in fact, gold has been ripping today, guys, hitting new all-time highs. It is going pretty crazy. Looks like it wants to break $4,000. So it's what I've been telling you over the past 2 years. We are in a macro bull market for all assets: crypto, stocks, precious metals, and even real estate. And it's all following global liquidity. So if your favorite analyst or influencer is not telling you about global liquidity, they are doing a disservice to you, because it's not the only factor, but it's a factor you have to look at. You have to understand what's happening in the macro here to help us get an idea of where we're headed. So this is a very important indicator here, and we are seeing the result of the rising liquidity coming in from across the globe. What's interesting is, even as the government shutdowns taking place, crypto's pumping in the face of that. And in fact, crypto funds smashed records with $5.95 billion inflows amid shutdown concerns. Crypto ETPs posted a record $5.95 billion of inflows last week, with Bitcoin leading the gains, recording a record $3.6 billion in inflows amid concerns about a US government shutdown. Now, we've talked about this. The markets know governments can't say shut down forever. People will be rioting in the streets. They're going to sign the check. And the markets know that means more liquidity, more printing of money. So that's the story. Don't be fooled by the mainstream media. Don't be fooled by the politicians and their dog and pony show. Guys, we've seen this before. It always ends in them figuring it out, because if they don't, the masses will rebel. And yeah. Anyway, let's not go down that road and talk about that. That's a whole other podcast, right? But I hope you see what's happening here. Now, look at this. Cathie Wood Ark bets on tokenization with a stake in BlackRock-backed Securities. Very big move by Cathie. We know she's very bullish on Bitcoin and crypto. Ark has its own ETFs, of course. But this is a very smart move on her part. So Ark has taken a stake in tokenization firm Securities as part of its Ark Venture Fund. The fund's investment in Securities is valued at approximately $10 million, making it the 8th largest position in the fund per the fund's latest disclosure. Tokenization of real-world assets is a fast-growing trend in finance, with the market doubling this year and projected to reach trillions this decade. Folks, Larry Fink at BlackRock said tokenization is the future of finance. They're putting the money market funds, they're putting hard assets, even gold, real estate, everything will be on the blockchain. It's what I've been telling you guys for a long time. The future government, economies, and markets will all run on blockchain rails. This is a smart investment by Cathie into Securities. BlackRock has already invested in Securities, and Securities is the firm that helped BlackRock to launch their tokenized fund called BIDL. So they are leading the charge in the tokenization race, and they've been at this for a long time. I remember meeting one of their co-founders and the president. He was the president as well, Jamie Finn, years ago, like 2019, and they were such a small company back then, but now they've grown significantly because tokenization, as mentioned, is the future of markets. Look at this. The capitulation of Wall Street continues. Morgan Stanley sets 4% crypto cap for opportunistic portfolios, aligning with BlackRock and Grayscale. Essentially, they're saying, hey, you know that crypto thing? I think it's good for you to, put some of your cash in it, some of your investment funds in it. So we recently saw Vanguard bend the knee. I think Charles Schwab's around the corner. So Morgan Stanley is now saying, it's good to allocate to crypto here. So Morgan Stanley's Global Investment Committee has recommended capping cryptocurrency allocations at up to 4% in its most aggressive client portfolios, the bank said in an October 1st note. The guidance adds to Wall Street's changing tune on how digital assets should fit into traditional multi-asset portfolios. So folks, I've said this before, this is why I'm not just bullish on this bull market, but the future bull markets of 2028 into 2030. So that's why when the bear market rolls around and it's blood in the streets and people are fearful, I'll be backing up the truck buying and getting ready for the next run up because it's going to take time for all these banks and companies to ramp up. And a lot of them are still waiting for the Clarity Act to pass, the crypto market structure bill. So they have, the legal framework to know how to operate and what to do to avoid risks. So you can imagine they're going to do a lot of R&D and build a lot of different products and prepare for the next bull market. It's how they've operated in the past with other asset classes. Now, folks, today was a historic day for crypto ETFs. The SEC has approved staking in Grayscale's Ethereum and Solana ETFs. This is the first in the United States. It's what we've been waiting for a long time. And the SEC just recently, they updated their ETF standards with the generic listing rules and much more. So there's a lot of hurdles that have been removed out of the way so firms can now launch these things. So this is big. And one of the things I've been on record saying is that once staking is approved in the Ethereum ETFs, you're going to see tons of inflows. So anticipate huge inflows as the big boys like BlackRock and Fidelity and others launch staking in their ETF. But Grayscale is the first. This is the opening of the floodgates. Wall Street is always on the hunt for yield, and Ethereum and Solana, they have naturally built in staking on their protocol. So even in a bear market, you can continue to earn here. So this is really great, guys. It's a landmark day. And let me give you the details. So Grayscale said Monday, it's Ether ETFs, the Grayscale Ethereum Mini Trust ETF and the Grayscale Ethereum Trust ETF are now the first US listed spot crypto funds to offer staking, calling the development another first mover milestone. This is huge, folks. Huge news here. And I anticipate the SEC, after the government shutdown now, they are going to approve the XRP and Solana individual ETFs, and I think others as well, because there's no need for a futures market anymore. They've updated the listing standards and all of that. But we got to get past the government shutdown. Some of you may say, well, how did this get approved? This was approved probably weeks ago. Like they approved the Grayscale top 5 index ETF, which included Cardano, Solana, XRP, and Bitcoin and Ethereum, of course. So I think Grayscale was timing the release of the news. So I don't think this happened during the government shutdown. I think they got the approval and they were just timing their launch. So this is very bullish, folks. This is going to usher in more capital into the market. And, a lot of people are going to be able to access these products via their retirement accounts and much more. And speaking of retirement accounts, a great place that you can invest in crypto via an IRA, a self-directed IRA, is with iTrust Capital. This gives you huge tax benefits, right? So you can roll over your existing 401k and your existing IRA to iTrust Capital and start investing in 80 plus crypto assets. You can trade 24/7. There are no monthly fees and it's low cost. And once again, huge tax advantages. But also, guys, they offer a premium custody account. In my opinion, this is the second safest way to custody your assets. Self-custody on a hardware wallet is the first, but iTrust Capital's premium custody accounts uses Coinbase institutional custody, Fireblocks, Fidelity digital assets. So you're getting institutional grade custody, so you don't have to worry. They are using the top tier of custodial services in the market, and they're diversified, right? So some of it is bank tiered. So this is a great way to custody your assets, and you don't have to worry. Once again, no monthly fee here. So you got the ability to invest in crypto assets and get the tax benefits, and you have an amazing custodial solution that can safeguard your assets, and you can sleep at night. You don't have to worry about your assets getting hacked or whatever it is, because again, this is using institutional grade custody. So folks, if you sign up with my link, you can get a $100 funding bonus. So check out iTrust Capital. I have an account with them. The link will be in the description. All right, moving ahead, Plume Network gains SEC transfer agent status to bring TradFi on chain. So, Plume Network, a layer 2 blockchain designed to host real-world assets, has registered as a transfer agent with the SEC, a move that bolsters its ability to bring traditional financial instruments on-chain and streamline the issuance of tokenized securities. The company announced its registration on social media, saying the step supports its broader mission of migrating securities markets onto blockchain infrastructure. Transfer agents traditionally handle critical back-office functions for securities issuers, including maintaining shareholder registries, recording ownership transfers, and managing corporate actions. So guys, they're putting all these TradFi actions on chain. Again, the future of the markets, economies, and governments will all run on blockchain rails. So we are seeing this setting up of the infrastructure here. So Plume said its registration allows it to replicate and automate those roles on chain, linking cap tables and reporting directly to the SEC and DTCC systems, a reference to the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, which is responsible for settling securities transactions. Now, if you know your TradFi, folks, DTCC is no joke, right? So again, they're putting all of this stuff on chain. Now, I don't hold the token of this layer 2 blockchain, Plume Network. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. So, if you're looking to invest in different projects, these are things you want to look at, the adoption that's happening, what approvals they're getting, and much more. Okay, moving ahead, Solana company bills $530 million SOL war chest amid growing corporate adoption. So it's the battle of the digital asset treasury companies. Some are focused on Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, and much more. So it's interesting to watch these companies, ramp up and accumulate as much of the assets as possible. So NASDAQ listed Solana company, formerly Helios Medical Technology, said Monday it has accumulated more than 2.2 million SOL tokens as part of its digital asset treasury strategy. At the current prices of $234 per SOL, the firm's Solana holdings and cash reserves now near $530 million, more than the total gross proceeds from its September private placement. So here's a quote. Following in the footsteps of Michael Saylor at MSTR and Tom Lee at BMNR, HSDT Solana Company is focused on maximizing shareholder value by efficiently accumulating Solana, says Cosmo Jiang, general partner at Pantera Capital and board observer at HSDT. You guys may recall I had Cosmo on the podcast earlier this year. So Pantera is one of the largest hedge funds. So guys, incredible the buying that's happening. And this is very good for all of us who are holding tokens, because it creates the supply and demand economics and a supply shock for many of these tokens, because they are buying a lot, man. So I hold Solana in my portfolio, so I'm happy about this news. I hold Ethereum in my portfolio. I'm happy about the news of Tom Lee's company buying Ethereum, right? So on and so forth. Now we got some Ondo news. Ondo completes acquisition of US regulated broker Oasis Pro. So big move by Ondo here, and I am an Ondo token holder. So Ondo Finance said Monday it has completed its acquisition of Oasis Pro as the firm aims to grow its tokenized securities business. Here's a quote. We now have the most comprehensive suite of licenses and infrastructure necessary to develop compliant and regulated tokenized securities markets in the US, the company's founder and CEO Nathan Allman said in a statement. The company first announced the plans to acquire the licensed broker-dealer, which is licensed by the US SEC in July, although many companies from both worlds of crypto and traditional finance have shown interest in offering tokenized securities to the US investors. Regulators have yet to determine exactly how trading equities online will function for Americans. So the SEC is working on the regulations. The crypto market structure bill, of course, hasn't been passed yet. But that's not stopping these companies. Again, the tokenization race is on here. So you see all of these different blockchains and companies are looking to put as many assets on chain, starting with stocks, money market funds, and much more. That is the direction the puck is heading in. All right, moving ahead. Mike Novogratz's Galaxy Digital jumps 10% after launching retail trading app to compete against Robinhood. So this is a big on-ramp. Mike Novogratz, you guys should know him by now. He's pretty well known in the crypto space, obviously been at this for a long time. And before that, he was a Wall Street legend, a billionaire, and he's done really well for himself. And Galaxy has serviced institutional clients for the most part. So it's very surprising they're launching a Robinhood-like trading platform called Galaxy One for retail. Now, they have an uphill battle. They're going up against Robinhood, huge brand, tons of customers. Same thing with Coinbase and some of these other firms. So let's see what their marketing strategy is, because it's going to be hard for them to grab customers from Robinhood. They're going to have to offer some huge incentives, right? But let's see how creative they get and what they're able to come up with. Look at this. This is very bullish. Hong Kong listed China Financial Leasing to raise $11 million for a crypto investment platform. I've often been saying that Hong Kong is the testing ground for China. They've been doing a lot of things with crypto in Hong Kong, and I believe eventually China is going to open up crypto via ETFs to their citizens in the mainland, stablecoins as well, but it will be like the digital yuan stablecoin, pseudo CBDC, and much more. But everybody's adopting this technology. So very interesting to see this coming out from Hong Kong. So China Financial Leasing Group, a Hong Kong listed investment firm, has announced plans to raise 86.7 million Hong Kong dollars, which is approximately $11.1 million, to Innoval Capital, as it intends to build a cryptocurrency and artificial intelligence investment platform. So folks, we are seeing building, investing, expansion, acquisitions, and mergers and much more across the globe, right? It's not just the United States. And the United States is now just catching up because we have some clarity here in the US and a much more favorable environment. But across the globe, in the EU, the UK, Hong Kong, and other Dubai, and even in Latin America, we are seeing incredible adoption. Now look at this news. Standard Chartered says $1 trillion may exit the emerging market banks to stablecoins by 2028. I think this is legit. Stablecoins are going to offer much more benefits. You can do DeFi with them, and the yield is better on stablecoins. So I think this is the writings on the wall, what's coming. So multinational bank Standard Chartered predicted that more than $1 trillion may exit emerging market banks and flow into stablecoins by 2028 as demand for the US dollar pegged crypto assets accelerates. In a Monday report, Standard Chartered's Global Research Department said it expects global stablecoin adoption to accelerate as payment networks and other core banking activities shift to the non-bank sector. So I think they're spot on here. The writing's on the wall, what is coming. All right, final news item. We got some updates here from Vechain. They announced a partnership here with KeyRock. So they said institutional adoption is already driving VET's expansion. So VET is the native token on the Vechain blockchain. They said professional market maker, liquidity provider, and treasury management firm KeyRock has been managing Vechain's validators, helping sustain the beating heart of the blockchain. Here is a quote. "It's great to see our collaboration tried and tested. KeyRock has now validated over 200,000 blocks on the Vechain Thor mainnet," said Marlon. At KeyRock, we love supporting ecosystems like Vechain where strong fundamentals meet genuine adoption. So guys, we continue to see huge adoption. I am a VET token holder. In full disclosure, I'm bullish on this project. So it's great to see this type of adoption and partnership happening. TradFi and crypto building bridges working together now. You're seeing this huge convergence, right? And it's just happening in many different ways. Tokenization, launch of crypto custody and trading, and the use of stable coins as well. And you have the digital asset treasury companies, right? Companies that have nothing to do with crypto, putting crypto on their balance sheet, and there's much more as well. So it's exciting times, folks. We are in a bull market. We continue to see huge adoption. We got some huge milestones coming up with the altcoin ETFs, the passing of the Clarity Act, and I think we're going to see an incredible Q4. As always, expect volatility, expect pullbacks and retests, and continue to look at the data. Don't be emotional, be educated, right, folks? And if you appreciate this content, please subscribe to my free email newsletter. It is 100% free on Substack. Link will be in the description. Check out my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital, and my course at mycryptocourse.com. This is a comprehensive course that teaches you everything about crypto. You will hear from experts and such as founders, CEOs, institutional investors, and much more. So it's packed with tons of value, guys. Check it out. So go to mycryptocourse.com to learn more. Folks, thank you so much for watching and listening. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.